Well, this video is all about probably the most important tool, the gateway, the prerequisite, and it's a quality. And this quality is compassionate, gentle awareness. And it's something that I've been shown again in these last few days and weeks that I've been missing. And it's something that I nurture and then I lose. And I'd like to explain a little bit more about why this tool is so important. I'm going to make this one video for both the adults and the children's series and just change the endings with slightly different practices for either for yourselves or with the kids. So why is this quality, this gentle awareness, such an important tool? Why is it the gateway to everything? Well, literally, it is the foundation for everything else to flow. Any calm, focused, powerful action or people or energy has at its base this gentle awareness. It's like the yin and yang in Chinese culture. Wherever there's yang, there's always yin, this gentleness. When we learn something new, we need to bring conscious attention to that learning. It's something new, it's something we don't know, we have to pay attention. We're literally bringing a conscious energy in. As we practice this, it becomes more familiar and more automatic. We literally form energy loops or circuits that start to be able to do this way more automatically. And this is helpful because it frees that conscious energy up to learn something else new. So when this gentle awareness and the feeling of safety is present as we're learning, what will tend to develop are habits of calm, effective, focused, solution-focused action. When we don't feel that, when that gentleness isn't there, when we don't feel safe when we're learning, we develop very different habits, unhelpful habits, and sometimes downright destructive habits. And it's been my observation and it's my understanding that when we've got unhelpful habits, largely what's going on is our fight or flight system, our fight or flight reaction has got stuck at some point, so that when we've been learning something, we've felt unsafe and threatened in some way. Now this fight or flight reaction is really helpful when we're in immediate danger, but we need to be able to fully complete that reaction. It requires us to expel a whole lot of energy that's been drawn in to help defend us. And often we don't get to do that these days, and that fight or flight gets stuck, and we take it forward and forward into our next day, the next thing. And what we end up then is we're learning while we're feeling unsafe and threatened, and we learn and we develop patterns that are defensive, fighty flighty, not clear, not calm, not necessarily solution focused, but problem focused, looking to push away a problem. So in immediate danger, this fight or flight is helpful, but when it becomes stuck and it becomes our habit, it becomes destructive. And when we look around, we can see this kind of habit everywhere. I see it in myself daily. We can see it in others around us, our children, our families, wider in our community, I'm sure. And we can see it in our collective culture, in our systems, even systems that are fundamentally for our good, in our education system, our medical system. We can see defensive, problem fighting habits everywhere, I would say, in our society. In fact, this situation that we're in now is a big symptom. All these habits that are a symptom of a deeper imbalance where we haven't got that gentle awareness. We cannot allow clear, focused energy through. Instead, we have pumping, forceful fight-flight energy coming through. And there's so many symptoms in ourselves, in our culture. This situation is a symptom, and it's asking us to look deeper for this imbalance. It's making us slow down. It's asking us to listen much more deeply. And if we don't want to continue and add more in of the same, then really it would be helpful for us to do that, to really listen deeply. And how do we do that? How do we change? Well, what happens when this fight or flight gets really ingrained in us? It's ingrained in our body, and it's in our body and it doesn't feel good. And what we automatically do is we start to disconnect from it. We don't know how to shift it, so we've disconnected from it. When we then try to either consciously shift those habits, or when a big situation like illness or a situation like this comes in and it asks us, it makes us reconnect more with our body. This situation's asking many of us to slow down. I'm sure many of us more aware of how tired we are, for example. Well, as we bring this awareness back into our body, either consciously or because it's been asked of us, the first thing that happens is we become more aware of the discomfort, of the fight-flight, of the tightness, the tension, the aches, the pains, the tiredness. And if we don't want to just add more of the fight-flight in about, we feel this now, how do we change this? How do I, and keep trying to push it away or force through it? The doorway, the gateway is that gentle, calm, compassionate awareness. And again, like I've said, this is what I've been shown in this last few days, is where I've been missing this again. Even in my practice, where I've been fearfully, compulsively feeling like I need to be doing better than I am, I need to be doing differently than I am, I need to be fixing something, I'm not quite safe, rather than softening, opening and allowing. So I've had this gentle awareness shown to me as I've been consciously going through my journey, and I've nurtured it, and then I lose it because I get back on the fight-flight pathway with work especially. But what I've also recognised is that I've seen it as a bit of a failure to need it, to need that gentleness. I felt like I'm having to bring it in because I'm broken and flawed and in shock or whatever. And what I'm recognising way more fully now is that it's always needed. It's always part of the balance. Wherever there's power, wherever there's a powerful person, heart-centered powerful person, there's always gentleness within them. I'm seeing that so much more, and I'm seeing where I can be bringing it in way much more, and it feels so much nicer than feeling that we have to fight through this. We don't need to fight through this situation. We don't need more defense and armory. We need togetherness. We need softness, and then we need the kind of action that will stem from there. So this gentle awareness then, how do we nurture it? Well, initially it's activated or not activated within us as children through our parents and caregivers. And I have to admit, again, why do we need this gentleness? Is as we become more aware and we see our behaviours and we see parts and behaviours that we don't want and are maybe causing harm to others, we need to be super gentle with ourselves, because I see it in myself as a mother where I'm fighty flighty and it doesn't feel safe, that Ava Robin's taking so long to get out the door because we've got things to do. I feel myself, I feel that fight flight energy rise. I can literally feel it now. So we need to be gentle with that. It's all, it's also activated in all of our relationships. Wherever that quality exists, we can find it, and it can activate us. We just need to look for examples. We can reparent ourselves. We can find examples in nature of that quality. As I'll speak about later, flowers, beautiful thing. We can notice it in other people. All we need to do is find glimpses of it and then imagine and spend time imagining how we would feel and how our lives would play out with more of that energy. And then we just can bring in conscious practices. Something like an altar here that I have behind me is a lovely way to practice collecting, bringing things that activate, that bring that feeling up in you. This was a picture that somebody did for me a few years back that represents so many qualities that I'm looking to bring in me. Again, the flowers, the crystals can do the same. And I'm going to add in a few more specific examples at the end of this video, but we can use everything in our lives as a practice for finding this kind of quiet, still, gentle, compassionate, non-judging awareness that sits here in our hearts, not up here. We can practice it while we're doing yoga on the mat, while we're doing Tai Chi, while we're knitting, sewing, gardening, running, swimming. We can use our lives as a practice for this, and I truly believe that that's what this situation is asking of us, that to find this quality and then let it open up the way for energy and action that stem from there. And a lovely suggestion for if you're looking to activate qualities with your children is this book by Thich Nhat Hanh. I can never pronounce his name, sorry. It's called A Handful of Quiet, and it speaks specifically about using pebbles and imagining qualities in flowers and mountains and water. It's really beautifully written. It's a lovely book for children. Yeah, so a practice we can do for ourselves as adults to open and activate that awareness that we're looking for, that heart-centered awareness, just pure openness, lovely and gentle and still, is to collect and pay attention to flowers. Flowers are the opening, the awakening in the plant life, and that's exactly the energy that they hold. They have that as a gift for us. And we can take time with our little ones to notice, to demonstrate. If qualities are activated and awakened in us, then just by doing something with them, it's activating, it's beginning to activate it within them as well. And like I was saying, it is a bit windy. I feel like I missed the point of this. Again, my fight or flight has come in, and I lose this kind of activity, and I lose this quality within me. I just have to be doing what's productive, and I realise how unbalanced that is in myself, and we can see it in the world around us. So Ava Robin and I, later on, we'll put these in a little vase and we'll have them on our little altar, our little place beside where we do our yoga, and it will be part of our practice. We'll notice. And there's so many beautiful things we can activate within us if we play at being animals. We've spoken about this before with our exhales. But we can also activate that kind of awareness we're speaking about and connection through just imagining and behaving like an animal. So imagine being a cow. Imagine I'm a cow, and imagine you're a cow, Ava Robin. I'm a mummy cow, and you're a baby cow. And cows don't speak. They don't think. Oh, imagine what it would be like being a cow. Quiet in your head. How would we be together? Listening to the noise of the rain. How would I be a mummy if I was a cow? Oh, I would nuzzle you. I'd probably lick you clean. Mommy cows with me in the field. We're looking after each other. Mommy cow wants to show you the yummy, yummy grass.
This is yummy, yummy grass. This is yummy, yummy grass.
Yummy grass. It might seem silly and funny, but seeing the connection she's felt when we pretend to be animals is just beautiful.